as we all know, we are in the mid of the second wave of our pandemic. So we get lot of queries and lot of call from our patients who are suffering with the hematology, oncology disorders and the bone marrow transplant disorders. So let's look it on this one. There are some basic questions are there, a layman questions, a general public questions, so that how we can fight with this pandemic, and we can come back to the normal life like earlier. So we'll start with some questions, I think, and I'll try to give the answers. If suppose anybody is having any individual questions, can text us. We'll try to justify your questions and the things.
Is the vaccine is effective?
Yeah, I think it's a very basic thing. First, we want to know when we are purchasing something, or we are getting anything in our house, whether it is useful for us or not. Yeah, so same thing comes with the corona vaccine also. As per the current evidence, so this vaccine is corona vaccine is effective in around say around 70 to 90% of the cases. So 70 to 90% of individuals are getting protected with this vaccine, which is, I think, a good figure, good number. So yeah, it's quite effective, including in our hematology, our hemato-oncological, our bone marrow transplant patients.
If the vaccine is safe?
Good, it is working for our cases. It is helping for us if we take these vaccines. Are there any side effect with these vaccines? I think that's a very beautiful question. As a general, there are a lot of vaccines are there. Corona vaccine is not a new one. There are a lot of vaccines. I hope we know that we are giving to our kids, and even more than 60 years of ages patients also, they are getting the vaccines for pneumococcus, H influenza, all these things, and seasonal. Every year we are getting the swine flu vaccine. So these every vaccines, every medicines has some sort of side effects, but majority of time these side effects are very well tolerated, number one, and there's a rarely any rare side effect which is quite serious too. Number three, if you compare with the benefit of the vaccines versus the side effect of the vaccines, so I think benefit is much higher than the side effect of these vaccines. And if you talk about the what type of side effects somebody can have, so very small, like so local injection pain they can have, local injection site they can have the pain, some swelling can be there, maybe slight difficulty in moving, that for some time we can have. So that is a common local side effect. One. Second is the general symptoms can be there, like flu-like symptoms, say fever, weakness, myalgias. Somebody can have the loose motions. So these are the temporary side effect. They are not life-threatening side effect, except 1 in 1 million I can tell that somebody has developed the brain clotting and this one. But I think if we'll talk about the benefit versus the side effect, the benefit is more, risk reward ratio is more towards the reward. So we can balance, we can adjust the side effect with the close monitoring and this one. Yeah.
Various side effects are there in the population after taking this vaccine also. What is your comment on this?
Yeah, I think that in spite of we tell there that very minimal side effect, but what the social medias and the news we get that there are certain rare side effects. If I talk about the developed countries, they have developed some brain stroke because of this one vein thrombosis, and that is associated with the low platelet count as well. So that is known as the cerebral sinus venous thrombosis associated with the thrombocytopenia. That is only the rare and the serious side effect has been noticed, and none of the patient has been reported from the India like this side effect. Few patients, I think less than 100 patients out of the many million doses they have received, they have developed this serious side effect. But there are maybe side effect of this minor side effect are more common, but again, as I mentioned earlier, these are the temporary side effect. There is no serious side effect in India has been noticed. One. Second is the effectiveness is much more rewarded than the risk of this side effect. Yeah. Is it effective for the present mutant coronavirus? See, there are still the things which we are learning about the corona vaccine, because it came very quickly in the timeline in the development. So it's not 100% effective to all the mutant coronaviruses, but we are looking as a scientist, as a doctors, we are looking which mutant virus is coming in the society, in the general public, and we are trying to update the vaccine as well. So there are the scientists are on the behind that it can cover all the mutant coronaviruses. But if we'll talk as a general, yes, majority of the mutant viruses are covered, and this disease is still evolving, right? Every day or every week we get the new mutant, new coronaviruses. But what I can tell you, it's not just the vaccine alone. So what can prevent is we have to prevent the spread of this viruses. We have to reduce the multiplication of this virus in the society. So that is possible with the current vaccination. Whether it covers all the mutant viruses or not, that is not the scenario, but it covers majority of them right now.
Who is supposed to take, who is not supposed to take the vaccines?
Right, I think this is a very valid point. So as of now, I think there are three things which is not those are not candidate to take the vaccines. One is the pregnant woman. Data are still generating regarding the pregnant woman, that so still we are avoiding the pregnant woman. One second is the kids, that is less than 18 year of the populations should not take the vaccine right now, but it may come in the market about the positive news about these ages. So less than 18 years should not take. Pregnant women, yes, as of now no data. Third is anybody who has an anaphylactic reactions to any one of the component. So what they have to do, when they go for vaccination, just tell the history of any anaphylaxis earlier. So if that is there, I think they should not take the vaccines, or if they take the vaccine, then they have to inform the local authorities, local doctors there, and they will take care during the vaccination. So they may need more observation. So as such, everyone should take the vaccinations as per the local government orders, government guidelines. They should take the vaccines. Right now, what we don't have the guidelines for less than 18 years and the pregnant women, they should not take the vaccine. Otherwise, everyone should take the vaccine. Somebody is having the aplastic anemia and the platelet count is 20,000 or less than 20,000, whether he should take the vaccine or not. Yes, I think my dear friend, yes, you should take the vaccine. This is just like insulin. I tell you, how they give the vaccine is just like insulin or underneath the skin. So there is no major risk of the bleeding or any major side effect with this vaccine. Even the platelet is 1,000, 2,000. So we should take the vaccines irrespective of the platelet count, irrespective of their bleeding diathesis. Certain patient with the hemophilia, so they should also take this vaccine. So there's no relation with the platelet. And other is the splenomegaly. So what are the reason of the platelet? The platelet, even if less than 50,000, or maybe because of cancer, or it is because of the spleen enlargement, or it is because of liver problem, or it is because of bone marrow problem. So you can take the vaccines. Yeah. At the time when we are hearing about the vaccine shortage, do you think as youngster we should go ahead and get ourselves vaccinated starting from May 1st, when so many of our elders are still waiting for it, and there are always more at risk and therefore more they need? Yeah, I think thank you for your understanding this in the broad coverage. This is what we are going to do with this vaccine, is we are going to create a herd immunity in the societies so that we can curb the proliferation or the multiplication of these bacteria. So if you come, take your seniors, elders who know them to take these vaccines, and you can also take the vaccine. There's a lot of daily production of the vaccine is going on in India. So I think as a youngster we should also take the vaccine, because once we go in the house, right, we may take the viruses along with us. So we should take the vaccinations for ourselves also. Even we are young, more than 18 years of age, we should take that vaccines. Yeah, but scenario comes that only one vaccine is there, one for you and one for elderly. I think we should give this vaccine to our elderly, because the benefit in form of risk of the death is less. Benefit is more to the elderly population. So I think in that scenario, yes, you should give to elderly. Son is around 16 years and he is asking that he is having allergy history. So we should vaccinate to him or not? Right now 18 year plus we are giving. Even they have the allergic histories, they should take the vaccine. Now we should know why they are having the allergic reactions, right? So, but we need more cautions on during any patient who is allergic to any component. But I think we have not heard that allergic patients have developed the more anaphylaxis reactions on this one. So what sort of allergy? Please tell your health authorities who are giving the vaccination. So they will be taking care more during your vaccinations, right? So whenever your turn comes, I think you should give to your son as well. Cervical cancer vaccine and the COVID vaccine together. Oh, I think so. Dual vaccines you are asking. So Subhi, this what I tell you. There's a no comparison. Right now we don't have data that somebody is taking two vaccines, whether they will interfere in their efficacy, effectiveness, or they will interfere in their side effect profile. So I think right now what is more important is the COVID, right? So take the vaccines for the COVID and the cervical vaccines, right? You can wait it. I hope if I cleared your doubt. Another thing you are asking, can I take the cervical cancer? Yeah. So I think you can wait for the cervical cancer vaccine for right now. You go ahead with the COVID vaccines, and maybe down the line, once you have been completely vaccinated, that is you have taken the two vaccines and you have waited for 2 weeks to develop the full immunity, you can take the things later on, right? So COVID cervical vaccine, you can hold it, and the COVID vaccine right now you can take it. Yeah. Whether hematological patients can take vaccines or not. Hematological patient or non-hematological patient. Hematology means the cancer and the non-cancer cases, like aplastic anemias, ITP, HLH, or the blood cancer, leukemia, lymphoma. These are hematological patients. Yes, they are all like they are more prone. I should say they are more prone to develop the serious side effects. So they should take the vaccine. One, and there is no extra side effect has been noticed in our hematological patients populations. One. Second is the benefit is more for them because they are more prone to develop the serious disease. Three is that there is some doubt because in hematological patient most of the time immunity is less, either because of the primary disease one or because of the treatment per se. So the effectiveness, the immunity, the rise of the immunity after vaccination may be less, but it is worth than not taking the vaccine. So always any hematological patient, yes, should take the vaccines. What is the COVID-19 treatment protocol for sickle cell disease patient? As you know that I know you very well, so you are still going with this disease per se. So there is no as such separate protocol for the sickle cell disease and the COVID-19, but we are more prone to develop some complications because of the underlying sickle cell disease. So we need to involve the hematologist in your care when anyone develop with the COVID-19. That time we need to take the extra care, right? So we have to modify the medications, we may have to intensify something, we have to reduce some medication, so that is required. Otherwise there is no as such different treatment protocols. You be touch with your current hematologist, hemato-oncologist. He will be helping you in the recovering from this illness if you develop this disease. My suggestion to you will be there. Now you are around 35-40 years, so now the vaccines is coming for everyone up to 18 years, so you should come forward and take the vaccinations. Which vaccine is good? I think this is a very common question we get. Which vaccine is good for COVID-19, especially in a bone marrow transplant case? So so there are the different vaccines in India right now. We have, for example, couple of vaccines are there, I should say, right now, and newly the government has approved another vaccines. So we have the vaccines, name of the Covishield, as you may be aware, and the Covaxins. See, the basic of these vaccines are there. They have been developed with a different platform. For example, the Covaxin or Covishield has been developed with the platform of protein. So protein based platform, whole virion based platform was there in the our Indian vaccines, Covishield and Corona. So the Western world, especially the US, they are using the messenger RNA platform. So that is a different platform, and this platform is a newer platform, right? So this has come recently only along the time with the Corona. The Indian what we are using is the existing. So existing means we have a lot of experience with this earlier platform, virion based platform, and we have that virion based platform we have given for inactivated polio, IPV, rabies, and other Ebola viruses. So there already the vaccines are there based on these old platform or earlier platform. So meaning what I mean to say that we have given the almost 300 million doses for those based on those platforms. We have the good data on those earlier platform, but what they are telling is that messenger RNA based proteins are somehow messenger RNA based vaccines like Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines. They are bit slightly more effective. Yet it is not available in India, but slightly more effective. So when I talk about which vaccine is good, I take care of the side effect profile of the vaccines. One, I take the effectiveness of the another side effect. So right now, both the vaccines, there's no head-to-head control trial for the Indian vaccines, but yes, both the vaccines are somehow equally effective, say around 70 to 80%. And as per the WHO guidelines or as per the current evidence, if any vaccine is more than 50 to 60% effective, is valid to take. So we should take either of the vaccine, Covishield or the Covaxin. One. Second, in the efficacy wise, I'm talking, there's no difference. Side effect profile, some say that the general side effect is more with the Covishield, which has been reported, but I feel I have myself has taken the Covishield, some of my staff has taken the again Covishield, and some has taken the Covaxins, and my family relatives different vaccine, but I think this is very much well tolerated. So both the vaccines are good. So whenever your opportunities comes, so take any of the vaccines, right, whether it's Covishield or Covaxins. Now another important point is, if you have taken first time the Covishield, so you take second time that Covishield only. So as of now the interchange is not allowed. So you've taken Covishield, take Covishield, or you've taken Covaxin, go with the Covaxin, like that.
Even if we are taking the vaccines, which are 2 vaccines, people are getting positive. Then what is the use of taking vaccines?
Yeah, I think this question that comes in our mind, that in spite of taking the vaccinations, we heard that our relatives or our friend or even our family members has been affected with the corona infection. See, so what I can tell, that none of the thing made by the humans are 100% effective. Nothing is 100% in the life. So there are certain cases we may get the failed in spite of the vaccinations. Number one. Second is, the side effects profile is very less, the benefit is more with the vaccine. So we should take the vaccine, not just look that we have again got the corona. So third, the corona somebody is having, most of the time, majority of the time, the severity of that corona, the risk to the death with that corona infection or reinfection, I should say, it very less. Now another thing what we can do is for our society. For example, if we are vaccinated and after vaccination we are creating our own herd immunity for a society. So that herd immunity is going to help in the fighting with this deadly corona, so that we can come to the normal life later on. Right. So this taking the corona vaccines is not only helpful for ourselves, one, it is helpful for our whole society. The important thing is, till we get our 50-60% of the Indian populations get that vaccination at least, we have to use the other measures to prevent the corona infection. For example, we should wear the mask, we should avoid the social gathering, especially in the poor ventilated area, we should do the good hand hygiene. So that is also an important part till we come out from this pandemic, which will take many months more. We need to have the herd immunity at least 50 to 60%, maybe more also, but at least what the data says, 50 to 60% herd immunity is required to come to a normal life. So I think yes, we should take the corona vaccine. In spite we heard that there are few cases we are developing the corona infection even in spite of the vaccine. Now one more important thing is this: to get that full benefit of that vaccine, it need to be wait for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So 2 weeks minimum is required after the second dose of the vaccine. So what we say is somebody is fully vaccinated. So only after up to full vaccinated, then only we can tell that he has been protected somehow with that corona infection. So need to wait for 2 weeks also. We are 4 in our family. Does it make sense to book appointment for vaccine for all of them at one go? Or first we go with the patient and then later for other members in the family? I think there is no sense on waiting. Important thing is, if you have been vaccinated, see nowadays the government is telling that you should wear the mask in house itself, right? So if you all together you have got for vaccination, so you all are going to get that benefit of that vaccine at the same time. So in the house also you may not need to wear the mask also. So I think there's no difference that you should wait, somebody patient should go or other members should go late. But I think yeah, you can go together also. There is no much difference in that one. But benefit will be more if you get together, right? So it's your individual preference. So you may be worried about, oh, suppose we go all together and we get sick with some of the side effect, who is going to take care, right? Yeah, so in that scenarios, if you have this, side effects are very less. But I think if you want to wait, let's give to your elderly, right, your mother and father, you give it on the vaccines, and then you can go yourself after 3 to 5 days down the line, and you can take the vaccines yourself. But not to wait for full vaccination, 6 weeks, and then you yourself go it, right? So once your father and mother has taken the one vaccination, wait for 3 to 5 days, and then I think you can go if they are fine, right? So that is the one thing, just to take care, because you are out of your hometown, you are in the city, so others may not be there to help. So that's all I think. But otherwise there is no scientific reason that you all should not take the vaccine. You also take the vaccine scientifically. Logistic, yes, we can wait for some time. I have very low platelet count of less than 1 lakh and I am affected by COVID. Okay, can you please suggest me some medications? I am 51-year-old. Oh, so quite unfortunate that you have got the COVID. So we'll be contacting you in person. In person, we'll be talking to you regarding the treatment, what treatment you should take and what you should not take for your COVID infection. So we wish you best for recovery. We'll be calling you after this our Facebook live session is over. Can a patient who underwent the chemo for lymphoma, okay, and is currently undergoing a root canal treatment, whether he can take the vaccine, as it may need few painkiller consumption? Yeah, right. So very I think practical thing. So there are scenarios, one with the cancer, say the lymphoma, myeloma, or the blood cancer or bone marrow transplant, who are taking the treatment for the disease by the chemotherapy or something, whether they can take the vaccine. One. Second is the another patient who has completed the treatment, whether they can go for vaccination or not, especially if they are going some other treatment as well. So now her question is that some of the family member has underwent the treatment for the lymphoma and hope he is doing well. Now he is going for the root canal treatment. So whether, because during the root canal they will be giving some painkiller, whether he can take the vaccine. See, there's no drug interactions with the corona vaccines, right? So painkillers like NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, should be avoided. That's what I can tell. Like NSAIDs drugs we can avoid, like diclofenac, especially the injection formulation we should try to avoid. You can take some painkiller, beautiful painkiller medications are there in form of the Ultracet, in form of the Tramadol, in form of the paracetamol, Dolo. So these are also good painkiller medications, so that you can take, and you can continue with this root canal treatment and the vaccinations also. But yes, we can avoid some of the painkiller. Hope you might have heard one incident in the India that somebody is one of our doctor colleague has taken the vaccine and in the night she expired, she died unfortunately because of anaphylaxis and something. So that is different story. So that was not because of vaccine one, it was because of the painkiller medicines, most likely the diclofenac injection they have taken it, that one. So that's why I'm telling, avoid the NSAID, which is a diclofenac is one of the example for that one. Second is avoid the injection formulation. Oral medicines, yes, the routine painkiller medications like Dolo, paracetamol, and Ultracet, so that Tramadol. So these things I think you can take very well. How long does the effect of the vaccine last? Yeah, I tell you, this corona is a new disease for all of us, and we are learning a lot of things, including the vaccine. So there are a few things which we don't know about these vaccines, and this one of the thing is how long does the effect of the vaccine will last. Now, as of now, we don't have the answer for this. In the few months, we'll be getting the answer for this. So right now, you take you get vaccinated for yourself and your family members. You get protect from this getting this viruses by using the SMS, that is social distancing, wearing the mask and avoiding the gathering, so and the hand hygiene. So do these practices, I think. So once we don't know in the future whether we may have to take the boosters after 1 year or 2 years, whatever things comes it, I think that will after a certain period of time. So right now we should follow what is required for us. So soon we'll get the answer for this, how does the effect of this vaccine will last. So get vaccinated, be safe with the other preventive measures which we are doing since 1 year. So don't skip on this one, and we'll come to know in the later on what the things are going on. My wife is suffering from fever which is 99 to 100 degrees since couple of weeks. Okay, so she was done with the first dose and she found negative in RT-PCR. Can she take the second dose of vaccines? Yeah, there is some information is required that when she's received the first vaccine, one, what is the interval is when her second dose is scheduled. I think that can help us. But 99 to 100 is the, yeah, maybe the non-infectious fever we should look it. So you try to consult with the local physicians or local doctor. If RT-PCR is negative, I think we can look why she is having the low grade fever, and then we can take a call for the second dose of vaccine if it is due for another. And the second dose vaccines, as per the new norms, we can it's not the 1 month alone, we can wait for around 1.5 months to 2 months as well, right? So we can wait for this one and we can look at what the reason for these low grade temperature spikes, yeah, and then we can go ahead with this. How much time does it take to get immune after taking the vaccines? Yeah, I think very valid thing. So before I give the answer for this question, you continue to wear the, don't think that you are immune and then you can come out and you leave your mask and then after the vaccination. So the thing is, you continue to follow till our other whole 50 to 60% of the Indian populations get these vaccines. So continue to follow your SMS practices, meaning the social distancing, hand hygiene. So continue to follow these things and avoid the gatherings. That is one important aspect. Now, there is a term which is known as fully vaccinated. So fully vaccinated means you have taken you have immunized for that particular vaccine. So what it means is you have received the 2 doses of the vaccines and at least 2 weeks you have waited. So total, generally it is 6 weeks span from starting from the first dose of vaccines till you get the immunized. So in another way, you have taken the second dose today. So after 2 weeks only you will be getting immunized completely with this vaccination. But again, I request you continue to follow the other precautionary measures to fight from this corona. For the patients on steroids, can they take the vaccines? Why not? I think any patient on any immunosuppressive drugs, whether it is steroids or targeted medicine, they should take the vaccination. Only thing is the effect may not be so robust. But if we'll compare with the no vaccination groups versus the vaccination group, we can take the benefit will be if you get vaccinated even you are on the steroids. Now, if there is a circumstances, you can wait for 7 to 10 days for the steroid. You can hold your medication for 7 to 10 days after consulting with a doctor. Then you can go with the vaccination one. Or if there is a circumstances you can't stop your steroids, please go ahead with the vaccinations if it is possible and available. Second, once you are immunized, meaning you have taken the two doses of vaccines and you have waited for 2 weeks, you can check the antibody titers. So if antibody titers are there in your blood for the corona vaccine, I think that also means that you have been immunized for that particular vaccine. Paralysis patient who is taking the medicines, can we take the vaccines? Yeah, I think they are also more prone to develop the serious complications with the COVID. So they should take the COVID vaccines. Any patient on any medications, they should go with the vaccination. So there is no contraindications. But tell your healthcare providers when you are going for vaccination, you are taking the vaccination. Tell them that these are the certain medications are going on and these are disease they are having. I think they will take care very well. So as such, there is no contraindication. You should take the vaccinations. What precautions are required before and after vaccination. See what I tell, as such there is a no precautions are required, but if suppose somebody is having another comorbid illnesses, so in that scenarios they should have some caregiver for initial 2 to 3 days. So if they develop any complications because of the underlying disease or because of the vaccination which is very less, so somebody else can take care of them. So let them inform that they are going for vaccinations to their caregivers or their relatives or their neighborhoods. Avoid the painkiller medicines, especially the injection formulations, to be avoided. That is a two I think I should remember, and I advise for my patient. As such, there is no major precautions is required. Most of the time, if you look at the chances of anaphylaxis or serious side effect happens within the first 15 minutes to 20 minutes only. So in the hospital setting when you are going, so they used to keep you there for around 30 minutes. So most of the things I think we can check there itself if you have some serious issues. So there is no extra care is required. Think it is just a normal vaccine. You are taking your kids, you might have taken your kids or your for vaccinations. What are the things is required? Nothing else. If you have some issues like fever is there, and some other uneasiness you feel, something which were not there before vaccination, please inform the health authorities. The message will be there with you, so you can inform the health authorities and they will be taking care of on that one. That's all. So be informed, be alert. I think that is the thing, and be confident in taking the vaccinations, right? My wife, can she take the vaccine? She is recently feeding her 3-month-old baby, right? So she has delivered the baby, right, 3 months back. Lactating mother, yeah, I think we should take the vaccines. I have patients who is 80-year-old age, okay. Can they go for vaccines too? Okay. Any data suggesting they should not take at their age, okay. What I tell you, so this is the age, right? Anyone more than 60, that's why the government started this scheme for the this age group in the first. So because this is the age where the morbidity and the mortality with this virus is more. So they should be the first. I think tell them that you are late, take them first now for the vaccination, and because the morbidity, the benefit will be the more, maximum benefit will be for him or the relatives. So take him for vaccination. The age is not at all contraindications. Soon we'll be getting the data for the less than 18-year-old, and we'll be able to give for the our kids as well. So take right now, except less than 18 year, everyone should take the vaccination. Let it be 100 year or 110 year. So we have Lavanya has taken the first dose vaccine. Good, Lavanya. Continue to with the second dose vaccine as per your schedule. Let us know if you are suffering from something. We try to help it. So how long should we wait to take the second dose? Very good. I think see a lot of things we are learning about this corona vaccine, whether we should wait for 2 weeks, we should wait 4 weeks, or somebody is telling 6 weeks. So different vaccines have the different things are there. Some even if you remember the vaccine, one of the vaccine which is recently banned in the Johnson, they were giving only the one. In the US it was banned, so they are giving only 1 dose of vaccine, only 1 shot was enough. Anyway, now what we have in India, Covishield and the Covaxin, minimum gap is 4 weeks is required. We should not take earlier than this one. If we wait for around 6 weeks to 8 weeks, that is 1.5 to 2 months is also, I think it's good. In the soon, as the numbers grows at the antibody responses, we get the more data. This interval may increase, but minimum 4 weeks, maximum 8 weeks, I think we should go at this one. Can asthmatic person take the vaccines? You may be worried that they have the lung condition, lung allergies, whether they can take the vaccines, right? See if the asthma is well in controlled, right? And so they should go with the vaccinations. Asthma means they may be taking the inhalers or some other medications. So they are the more prone to develop the serious complication with the corona itself. So I think they should go with the vaccination. There is no contraindications for that one. Can Preeti take the vaccinations along with the ITP treatment? Yeah, I think any treatment, patient is taking any treatment for any disease, they should go for this vaccinations. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the effectiveness may not be as equal to the healthy population. Like what we say, healthy population, the effectiveness is around 70 to 80%. So that may not be there, 70, but For example, what we know that right now the effectiveness is around 30 to 40% for the patient who was on the immunosuppressive therapies. So ITP means generally they are on the immunosuppressive therapies, but it's still the vaccine effectiveness is there. So why not? So Preeti should go ahead and take the vaccination for this this corona. She should take the couple of both the vaccines and wait for and we'll be doing the antibody checkup once the vaccine is completed, and that time we can do how that whether you have been protected or not, right? So you should go with the vaccinations, Preeti, and let us know if you have any problems, right? And if you need any help in arranging the vaccinations, please let us know. We'll try to help on that. So I diagnosed with some blood cancer. I'm in the maintenance phase. If I'll take the vaccines and after that we'll get any side effect, what we need to do? Can we go to the doctor, and is there any medication for this in home itself? Basic and the very practical point you have asked. So you have asked that everyone should take the vaccine irrespective of the treatment. So now the side effect that depends on the what severity or what type of the side effects are there. Now majority of the side effects are in form of the, as I mentioned, the injection site itself, you can have the pain and the slight swelling can be there. So that is a very common side effect. Myself also has these issues in the during the first vaccination. Second vaccination it was fine. So in that scenario, I think you can nothing major to be required. You just contact first your doctor. In your case, Dr. Gupta is there for you to help 24/7. So let us know what side effect is there. So we can look the local site. One. Second is, if you are in house and midnight you have the problem for this side effect, you can take the paracetamol and the dolo for that particular side effect. That is one sort of side effect. Second is another side effect like feverish feeling, myalgias feeling, flu-like symptoms. Suppose you get it, not to worry. Just inform us. We are there with you. That I can tell you. Anything which is not noticed now, that sort of side effect is. So inform your wife that you are going for vaccination, and then let us know if something is there. We'll take care. So I tell you, one, you just inform us that this date you have taken the vaccinations. You inform me and my team, and we'll be following you, so that I can tell. For any other patient who is not in the my care and this one, so let us know what side effect they are having. You can keep with the paracetamol with you. That is what I can tell right now. If we have developed the COVID antibodies, okay, do we still need to get vaccinated? So COVID antibodies developed means you are talking that you have developed the COVID infection, okay, and then you tested yourself the COVID antibodies, okay, and that came positive, right? Yeah, I think very future oriented thing is there, but what we know is that this we don't know. One thing we don't know about the COVID vaccination or COVID infection, that how long this protection will last. We don't know this about that protection lasts for 1 month or 3 month or 6 month or 1 year. We don't know how long this will be lasting, right? So if suppose somebody had and you might have heard that in spite of the corona infection earlier, they are getting second time corona also. So there's a lot of uncertainties about a lot of unanswered questions, lot of mysterious things about this disease right now is there. So what we tell to our patient, even they develop the COVID infection and they tested for the COVID antibodies, yes, they should go for the vaccination. They may wait for once they recover from the COVID infection, because the antibody is already there. So they can wait for 2-3 months and they can go for the vaccinations. But yes, they should get vaccinated irrespective of whether they have COVID infection or any disease or any medication. They should go with that one. I am suffering from ITP since last 6 months, and I have taken my first dose on 12th of April. Okay, very good. Congrats. And no side effect, no fever, no body pain. So everybody, so he is telling that everybody should take the vaccination, and is a live example in front of you. Thank you for sharing this information to live to our patient. Thanks a lot. Sir, at age of 60, brain hemorrhage is there and she is paralyzed and diabetic, can take the vaccine. Okay. Yeah, I think why not? She has a lot of comorbidities, like she is on the bed. One, she is not able to take care of herself. Two, she is a diabetic. So this is again that, and she is aged around 60 years of age. So I think she will get the maximum maximum benefit from this vaccine. So she should take, why not? She should take the vaccinations. Second dose of vaccine has to be taken on 28th day from the first dose, okay, or it can be taken anytime after 20 days. So as I mentioned that the dose is minimum gap should be 4 weeks, and it can be prolonged up to 56 days. So 28 days to 56 days, I think the time is okay, we can take it. So we have taken the vaccine, myself has taken the vaccine in a gap of 28 days. Later on the new papers came, new journals, the new news came that the vaccine is more effective if we take around 6 weeks to 8 weeks later. The gap, if 6 weeks to 8 weeks is there, that time it is more effective. Okay, so I think this is a lot of changes are happening, but what we have learned right now is 4 weeks gap is the must. Later on you can extend up to 8 weeks as well. For people who have already been affected by coronavirus in the first wave, do they need to vaccinate? I think yes, why not, Sika? They should get vaccinations. Yes, surely they should get vaccinations. What if a kid that is under 18 years of age gets the COVID-19 during his or her treatment for okay, what can do? Suppose any patient with hematological disorders, right, whether it is a blood cancer, leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, if they have this thing, so how to treat them, right? So I think treatment is possible, but we need to modify the treatment protocol based on the underlying illness, right? So suppose somebody is diabetes and hypertensive, we need more extra care, we need to customize the treatment. So that is the only thing. Otherwise, if you have our kid or our patient has sailed through this blood cancer, I think we can treat the corona, we can fight with the corona even if they develop the corona as well. But they need the good treatment under the guidance of the hematologist or hemato-oncologist as well. Yeah. Is it safe for take vaccine after allogenic bone marrow transplant? Okay, so bone marrow transplant they have done for some disease in the past. So whether it is, if I tell you one thing, when we go with the bone marrow transplant, whether it is autologous or allogenic transplant, after a certain period of time, say 6 months to 1 year down the line, we vaccinate them for the routine vaccines what we have taken during our childhood. Say we have taken the diphtheria, polio, tetanus, we have taken the measles, mumps, rubella. So all these infections also we give the vaccinations after 6 months to 1 year. Right, so like this is for corona, right? So corona, because it is a pandemic right now, other diseases is well in control, which are described. So corona vaccine, there is no need to wait 6 months to 1 year down the line. If just inform the treating doctor, treating hematologist that this is the thing is there, and I'm going for vaccinations. So if you keep him the loop, and I think you should take this. There are no issues with that. But only again, as I mentioned, is that. And I try to press on that one. This vaccine alone is not the treatment. In spite of our fully vaccinated, right? We have developed the antibodies in spite of the vaccination. We should continue to use the normal practices what we are doing, like social distancing, wearing the mask, and the good hand hygiene. Right? So don't think that you have taken the vaccine and you are free. So right now, no. Maybe after 6 months. Once our whole community is getting vaccinated and they have developed the herd immunities, that time yes, you can avoid this SMS, this social distancing and the mask. Not right now. So take the vaccine, irrespective of the transplant time. Efficacy may not be that so much compared to the general public. To continue to do the COVID appropriate behavior, that is social distancing, wearing the mask, and the good hand hygiene. So that is known as COVID appropriate behavior. So maintain yourself and educate your neighborhoods and your family members for this one. That his hemoglobin is 7 gram and the white blood cell is 2000, very low. Platelet is 20, again it is very low due to aplastic anemia. Can any precautions required when I go for vaccinations? When you go for a COVID center, corona vaccination centers, protect yourself, wear the mask, maintain the social distancing. If others are not wearing the mask, that tell them also, right? That is one, I think you should take the precautions. Second is there's a, because your immunity is low in the aplastic anemias, so you may develop any other infections which may not be related to COVID infection. You may develop the fever because of bacterial infection, right? May not be because of corona. So once you develop the fever or any complication which may not be related with the corona vaccine, they may be related with your aplastic anemia or something. So inform your treating doctor and that you have developed this one, they will take care. So corona vaccination, you should go in spite of your aplastic anemia. 1, both the doses you should take it. 2, 3 is the inform your doctor if you develop any issues at after vaccinations. Yeah. So she has been treated for aplastic anemias. Shall I take the vaccine? And if attacked coronavirus, what shall I do? Okay, you should go with the vaccinations as any patient, right? Right. So you be protected yourself. Unfortunately, even if corona comes, more than 90% are recovering without any issues. So I think you maintain your good health. Do the physical activity, do the respirometer exercise, drink good amount of water. Disease. You have fighted from this aplastic anemias. I think we can fight from the corona as well. But try to get protect from yourself. Let us know if you need any help. If unfortunately you develop for the corona. What is the side effect if some are positive and take the vaccination unknowingly? Okay. So it is a theoretical question what is asking, which is maybe common. Why not? Because most of the time this corona is asymptomatic, right? We don't know who is suffering from the corona. Myself also don't know when I took the vaccine whether I am harboring the corona viruses in my body. So I don't feel there is any issues. What you are doing in the when you have the coronaviruses with you, so your body will mount the response. 1, when you are taking the vaccines from outside, you are helping the body. You are giving the viruses, even though it is a killed virus, you are giving the body a killed virus to mount the response. So you are, it's okay. I think you are giving in this theoretical scenarios, you have the viruses already in the body and you are giving a killed virus. I don't feel any side effect should be there. Another thing is I don't feel the efficacy will be even more or less. So efficacy also will be same as anybody else, and the side effect profile also will not change in this scenario. Sir, my father is 58-year-old age and he's completed 1 cycle of chemo. Shall we take COVID vaccine? Can you help me? So any cancer patient, whether they are on treatment or they have completed the treatment, they should go for the vaccinations, by keeping in the mind, because the immunity is low, they may not mount the response so much. So what they have to do, like, and even the normal public also, the possibility of mounting the response is very good in the normal public, even though they have to follow the COVID appropriate behavior, right? You can give the vaccinations for your mother, and if she wants the vaccination, please contact us. We can try to help in the getting the vaccinations to her, and we can monitor her. I am healthcare provider and I am supposed to take care of COVID patient, but I am a lactating mother too. Okay, is it contraindicated for me to take the vaccine? See, I think you are more prone to expose with the corona infection as all other frontline workers like you and me and my staff. So the benefit for you should be more. 1. Second is you are worried about your baby, because you are breastfeeding your baby, so you are worried. During the corona vaccination time, we are giving the inactive vaccine. It is a killed vaccine. So that vaccine is not going to pass from the, or it's going to create the trouble to your baby through the breast milk. 1. Second is there are certain vaccines which we take as a mother, we take it and we develop the antibodies, and those antibodies can pass from the placenta or through the breast milk and can protect the baby also. So antibodies will be developing for you. So those antibodies will not cause the harm for your baby. So I think you can take the vaccines. Somebody who is 6 weeks post delivery, they should go ahead with the vaccinations even though they are lactating. If any change is there, we'll let you know, but I think yes, you should take the vaccine. Whether any ALL patient can take the vaccines or not. ALL, AML, leukemia, lymphomas, and everyone can take the vaccinations. My father had hernia operation 2 weeks back. Okay, can he take the vaccine now? He is 58-year-old. Yeah, why not? He should take the vaccination irrespective of his medications going on for this hernia or any other disease. Yes. What is the time lapse between first vaccine to second vaccine? So generally for Indian vaccines, what we are telling is 4 weeks to 8 weeks. Some of my friends, they took Johnson and Johnson vaccine in USA, okay, which is one shot vaccine, no need to repeat it, okay, and we wait for foreign vaccine. Okay, great. So I think this is again very practical point. So see, I tell you, John, there are 3 vaccines currently in the US as per my knowledge. One is the Pfizer vaccine, second is the Moderna vaccine, and third is the Johnson vaccine, right? So Johnson vaccine, they have banned in the some part in the US because of the serious side effect which is leading to the, till they get the further information on that side effect. So not the Johnson's, but the other vaccines like Moderna vaccine, Pfizer vaccine, they have approved, Indian government has approved right now as a backup plan, right? So Indian vaccines, the development is a different platform, and the US vaccine they have developed based on the mRNA platform. Now why we should wait? We want to wait that so that we can get the best vaccines, and that we take the vaccine. Yeah, one thought process that we can wait or not to get that best vaccine. So vaccine is 100% effective, including the USA vaccines. They're telling the efficacy of around 90 to 95%, which is in their populations. We don't know how much effective will be that vaccine for our populations. As per WHO and the current evidence, any vaccine which is 50 to 60% or more protectiveness is there, we can take those vaccines. And our Indian vaccines like Covishield, which is developed by Serum Institute India, and the Covaxin, both are in above this category. So right now, if our turn comes, we should take any of these vaccine. One, we should not wait for the another vaccine, because we want to build the herd immunity as soon as possible, so that we can come out from this pandemic soon. Another last thing is that we don't know how long the protection will last for any one of the vaccine, let it be Pfizer or let it be Moderna or Johnson or Covishield or Covaxin. So maybe in the future we may get some answers that we can take a booster vaccine. So that booster vaccine may be Covishield or maybe the Covaxin or maybe any mRNA vaccine. So let that time to come and to decide later on. So right now there's no need to wait. I think we should go with that vaccine. My sister-in-law is in the TB patient. She's underwent spine surgery in the January. Okay. Unfortunately, she had developed this disease. Any suggestions, sir? I think she should take the vaccine. There is no harm. And if you feel anything, you can message us personally. We'll try to help on other thing. Let's protect it ourselves. Take the vaccines. Don't miss the COVID appropriate behavior too. Don't ignore your health. If you have another symptoms, COVID is not the just only disease. There are other diseases are there, including hematology, hemato-oncological, and the bone marrow things are there, which even more dangerous. So if you have those things, don't miss. Contact nearby doctor or contact Hematology BMT Institute. I think we'll try to help in the best way.